I'm Catherine Emmons, and today I'm speaking with Rich Bentz. He's a partner in the Corporate Leadership Resources organization Sharon, and also with Ann Holm. She's a leadership and professional development coach, and she emphasizes brain-based approaches to leadership. So today we're going to talk about the difference between management and leadership. So Rich, as part of Sharon, you've developed what you call management competencies, transition skills, and leadership potentials. Now you're beginning to be able to measure these things, and you're starting to talk about brain-based leadership. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Since Warren Bennis articulated the difference between managing and leading in his 1989 book on becoming a leader, there's been a proliferation of other books, materials written, articles, discussions that differentiate even more clearly, that talk about the progression from one to the other and perhaps even validate these differences. And currently we have the opportunity to determine what goes on inside one's brain as you are engaged in a management activity such as delegating or project management. And we're able to determine how that differs from the activity that goes on in your brain when you're engaged in a leadership activity like visioning or motivating others.
Thank you. Anne, could you give us a little bit more of insight into that brain-based piece?
I would love to. There's an area of the brain, actually there's three parts that work together. The medial prefrontal cortex, the left and the right prefrontal cortices. And the medial prefrontal cortex is the area in which the vision or the I want statement comes from. This is what I'm looking for. This is my long-term goal. And in order to continue to think about a long-term goal, you need to have activities that will get you to that long-term goal. So that's the I will and the I won't part, the left and the right prefrontal cortices. So you have a vision, and let's say, certain activities you do need to do, so the I will. Certain activities you probably shouldn't waste your time doing, that's the I won't. And they feed into this medial prefrontal cortex vision that you've put together. So that's a unique leadership brain-based skill.
So why is it important that I know that my brain is functioning differently when I'm doing a management activity versus when I'm doing a leadership activity?
Because if the brain is functioning differently in these different activities, if it's functioning differently, you may need to develop a particular area of the brain in order to function better in a particular skill set or role. So we now know that the brain can change. It used to be thought that the brain couldn't change, but it actually can. And it can change either by being immersed in a particular context. For instance, learning a foreign language, it's better to just speak the language and not try to use your native language as well and try to translate. So that's this immersion idea. Then the other possibility is this idea of conscious effort. So you know where you are and you know where you want to go, and you create a conscious pathway toward that. But you have to know where you are, and you have to know that it's possible. You can teach an old dog new tricks, for instance. So that's why it's important to know that there are different areas of the brain, but you may need to develop them. Yeah.
Well, are there things we can do to make ourselves more productive, happier, and better leaders?
Oh, absolutely. Exercise is very important. Your brain cells are created when you exercise, especially in the area of new learning. The hippocampus is deeply affected by exercise and by sleep, by the way. Nutrition is very, very important. We used to think that was sort of a discard pile issue, but it's not. It's very, very important. That's part of bringing your A game. And then meditation, that's another one. I mean, I could really go on and on, but don't get me started. This has been my passion for 30 years. Don't get me started.
But we do want to get you started.
Okay.
Actually,
Tell us. All right.
Actually, and that may be a brain-based activity. Join us on Thursday, February 27, from 7 to 9 at the North Oaks Country Golf Course.
Or country club.
Or Country Club Golf Course.
Either one works.
Either one works.
Same place.
Join us. Ann will be there. Catherine will be there. I'll be there. And we'll talk about management competencies, the transition skills that you need to move from management to leadership, and leadership potentials, and all in the context of brain activity.
The brain.
See you then.
Yes.